Hey everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. Comic book find June 2023 part 2. Hope you guys watched the Spider-Man one. That was pretty cool stuff. There's not a whole lot in here value-wise, so I'm probably not going to do them individually like on the Spidey. We'll see. Let's see how this goes. If you guys get a chance, click like, click subscribe, check out our other videos. I wanted to show you how I find stuff. So this is what the boxes came in, and if you're a picker, collector, doesn't really matter if you're grading it. Here's some things to look for, I guess some clues. And first of all, these are very old boxes because there's no handles. So this is probably, I'm guessing, 1982 or older. It's also not a standard size box like you see today. It's not a half a box. It's more like a 65% of a long box, a modern long box. So, it'll hold 180 to 200 books versus, 250 to 300. So it's just a little over half. They're really awkward to pick up without those handles, especially when they're full. But you can notice they got some age, they got some dirt. You can see here that's water damage. So then you need to pay attention to the book. Something that I have not seen before is this stuff here, and I'll lift this one closer. You can see that it looks like, well, it's mud, and what happened was these are wasp nests. And they're the mud daubers, the black wasps. They're about 2 inches, and it's like concrete. There's still quite a bit on there. So wherever this was kept, it got wet and hot. And so the wasps generally don't show up in the basement, right? They like things warm and dry. Yet the boxes got wet. So I'm guessing it sat for a very long time in a couple of different places. I don't know. It's very odd to actually have that, and not a good sign. So I got really lucky that this collection could have been a lot worse condition than it was. Most of the collection, including the Spider-Man, so these are all, well, I'll bring it out here. We'll just bring the first one. These are not polypropylene, these are polyethylene. They're actually in fantastic shape, because usually the polyethylene that's 40 years old or older is this sinus infection green. But you can tell it's polyethylene because it's a little, I don't know, a little flimsier, I guess, and it's cloudy. Even when these are brand new, it was just a little bit had a milky tone to them. And almost everything that was bagged and boarded, because not everything was back to back with no boards. So I should just say bagged. And that's how I found these. This stuff, throw it away. You want polypropylene stuff. I imagine somebody's probably making polyethylene out there because it's cheap, but if you're ordering bags for comics or anything else really to protect it, don't get the polyethylene. And a lot of Superman, again, probably a solid VG stuff, lots of spine stress, and there's one of these, maybe we'll run across it here. So they must have been uncovered when they got wet, because otherwise, if they have the covers on them, that usually ends up in the bottom of the bag, and it ends up turning into mold, and it's really nasty. That was an arrival date that's smeared. Of course, it's a white cover. Superman stuff, a lot of people think that's the best stuff, and I gotta tell you, I do not move much Superman stuff unless it's got 10 cents on it, and even then it's not the first thing people ask for. And this is the era I grew up on. I mean, you got some Neil Adams covers, so you do have some fantastic covers on some of these Superman books, but I gotta tell you, especially this era, this 25 cent era, gosh, there's just not much in there. even the Whitman variants that came in the Whitman 3-packs, pretty tough to move. And I'm just going to take the rest of these out and just kind of flip through them. And again, there's a better cover. It's got Guardians of the Galaxy on it. I was thinking that was a Neil Adams cover. Pretty sure it is. So there are quite a few of those. But of all the Neil Adams covers out there, they're not the priciest or the most sought after. And I'm having trouble. Those are singles there. That feels, yep, there's 2 in that one. That's another one I think is probably a Neil cover. That one probably Neil too. That's probably one of the few books from that era for Superman. It's kind of got that retro Action #1 homage to it. So that's usually a seller. Not very expensive, but at least, you know, somebody pretends to care, I guess. Oh, I got stuff I never really quite made. We got 15 centers here, but I never quite got to the 10-cent era. Pretty sure that's Neil. So there are some really, really good covers. That's Neil. Just, I don't know, just not a lot of interest in the comics. And I do not see a Marvel movie bump, you know, for the DC stuff, the DC movie bump. You know, maybe if they ever made a Superman movie that everybody could kind of get behind and be different, but I just don't see it. And most of everything, and I mean 90% of what people ask for anywhere, shows, whatever, it's all Marvel. It's all the Marvel stuff. So I don't know. It's nice to have it. It's good. Star Sapphire. Well, that's accurate. Star Sapphire cover there. A lot of kind of end of the world, apocalyptic kind of things. Which I don't know what else you do with the guy, because, you know, when you're pretty much invincible, it's, you know, it's got to be tough. Cheetah, tough coming up with stories. So yeah, there are a few of these that are single. So this is the fake out cover. That's not Captain Marvel. That's not Shazam. They were kind of test running to see, I don't know, I guess to get some feedback on it. And then they did start printing some Captain Marvel Shazam stuff about that same time. But that was not him. Oops. Let's, okay. So, you know, I got a John Byrne FF. That was in the back of the other one, so I may have to flip this box around here and see. I think these are all singles. Is that the substitute? Oh, Retired Superheroes. Oh, I didn't even know that was in there. Marvel Team Up, Torch and Iceman. Now, these don't have a ton of value, but I tell you what, just that classic Marvel look from that era. Enemy Ace used to be a strong seller, now not too much. Oh, pardon me. These are dusty. These are very dusty. Kind of a gray tone cover. I like the war books, but I think I'm the last one that does. And these I do have to bag and board. These are a lot newer. So Sergeant Rock, which has some following, got some John Byrne X-Men, Fantastic Four, pardon me. And again, not super high grade. You know, a lot of these are probably fine to VF. I don't think there's any, see down there, I think there's any newsstand editions on that. Good She-Hulk cover with Stan Lee. I think that was Stan Lee, actually. Maybe better not quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was. Just a little, I think that was the only one. So Chad, don't get excited. I'm pretty sure that was the only photo cover, and I don't know why that was in there. If it was mixed up from another collection or what happened. Strange Sports does kind of sort of sell. The number 1 is hard to get. Oh, I dropped something. Sergeant Rocks again, and what are these, 300s? Yeah, 330s in there. Again, fairly nice shape. It's just, boy, I don't know what you do with them. They're not hard to find, even in higher grade. That's when they kind of, I don't know, the rails started going off. They moved Sergeant Rock into the future and kind of a revival thing. I ran into the 400s, I believe, originally. I better get this, see what I dropped. And it was a Strange Sports. Oh, look at that, number 1. Lower grade though, a lot of foxing, big old crease, and I don't know if you can see it. That's all water damage, and that's kind of what happened. You can see it a little better on the back. They must have sat in something damp for quite a while, because they really wicked up some water. And that really lowers it. I mean, anytime you get it wet, burn it, tear it, paper, collectors lose interest in a big hurry. I always like these giant prize battle books. I thought they had some great Kubert covers on there. But again, not super sought after. Even the giant size, they bring a little more money. See there, that's a real problem with the giant size books. That's from reading, that's a thumb smudge, water damage all the way down through there on that one. Oh, I was wrong, Chad. I apologize. Bonanza, looks like a Michael Landon cover, number 28 from 68. This was a shame. I'm a sci-fi guy, and I don't believe I have this comic, but the poster's missing, and something else was missing. So it was, darn it. Invaders, anything with UFOs sell. I mean, it's probably a $4 or $5 book. That's number 4. Smokey Bear, I do have collectors for that. That's number 6, low grade though. Some more Sergeant Rocks. I had a subscription to Sergeant Rock for a lot of years, and then at the end I got this little note that said, "What other comic book titles do you want? We're ending your title." I'm like, oh, come on, man. E-Man, I have no idea what these are doing in there. Those are completely, they came with it, same with the Alpha Flights, but they are completely out of era for this collection, so I don't know what happened there. Dagwood, Blondie, Roadrunner, not too much. Treg, no. Lulu, yeah, that one's too rough. It's a movie one, but nobody's ever heard of it. There's another 100-pager, yep. Battle book, whatever you want to call it. Solar, it's a gold key. Donald, just not a... These are really, of course, if I'm going to have something damaged and worn out, I just soon it be these. Except that one, I do have some Three Stooge collectors, but again, very low grade, number 43 on that. Chad, I know you need some, so let me know if you need that one. Mickey Mouse, Arak, Marvel Universe used to be actually pretty good, but they changed everything so much it didn't matter. So their value went down as far as reference, and then nobody cared. So another Sergeant Rock, 282 on the Hulk, more E-Man. Just not, I don't get why those are even in there. Hulk, more E-Man, more E-Man. So, you know, it was a fun box for me because there's a lot of my era stuff. But outside the Sergeant Rock, you know, not too much I'm interested in, and I've got the Sergeant Rock. I got it all the way through the end. Strange Sports, I do have a couple number 1s, so I'm betting they're all better than this one. This one's kind of a rough one. Definitely a reader filler copy, I would think on that. And let's see. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to get this repacked here just a second. Bear with me. Something else while I'm doing this, keep sending me ideas for podcasts, and keep sending me names for the new gold colored vans. So far I've got Dusty, Goldie, Tanner, Gargoyle. That's Jeremy from No Coast Comics. I just had to throw it into the bus there, Jeremy. But you win for the uniqueness. Gargoyle was not one I was expecting. A lot of those names I mentioned, though, I can't get the plates because somebody else has the plates, even changing the wording around. So I still haven't decided. Let me know. I think probably by the end of July I'm going to need to have that wrapped up. So send me whatever you guys think. Get me on Facebook or leave it on the comments on YouTube. It doesn't matter, however you want to do it. Whoops. Try that again. And these are actually really thick cardboard. If this would have been, I think, the modern boxes that went through all this, wherever these were stored, the modern boxes that you've been getting for the last 10, 15 years would be absolutely destroyed. So I got to give them credit. So here we got some more Superman stuff. It's Legion of Superheroes, but very, very low grade, guys. Most of these are going to be fair to good. This is kind of what I see. I'm going to take this one out. When I see water damaged comics, especially if they're in a sleeve, you get a lot of this kind of dried mud, dirt stuff on there, and it's all over. It's stained pretty heavily. Very low grade book. I'm a big fan of the Legion of Superheroes, not so much Superman or Superboy. And they do have a little bit of interest with collectors, but in this, I always like that cover, but in this condition, not so much. The Flash books, I think this one of these, I think there's one or two more. There's not very many. What number is 166? One of these is missing a centerfold. This one might be all right. Yeah, that one. Oh, that's what it was. So the centerfold, I got to figure this out. So it's either removed or restapled. Now sometimes this could actually be a factory error when you see the double staples, like they thought they missed a batch and they ran it back through, but it's such low grade. I don't even see the stains on that. It's such low grade, I don't think it's going to matter one way or the other. You know, again, reader filler kind of stuff. Superboy, there should be, I think there was some Neil Adams covers in this run. Again, fun books, just not a lot of interest in them, unless there's something on the cover. Yeah, basically, if it's got something inappropriate on the cover, then people buy them. Otherwise, yeah, not so much. Just kind of like Archie comics. Oh, I think that's a Neil cover on that one. Cheyenne Kid, it's Charlton, which I don't know about the Westerns, but the other stuff is getting pretty collectible. You don't see the Charltons. You couldn't give them away for years, so I don't know what happened to them. Popeye, Rawhide, there's another Flash, Legion. So, you know, fun stuff. The Flashes do have a following. They're actually probably a little bit more saleable than the Superman stuff. Obviously, the best stuff from any of the DC is going to be pretty much Batman. I believe that was a Neil Adams cover too on that Superboy. Can't remember for sure, so don't hold me to that. I'd have to look it up, but. And there's some Superboy in the Legion. I do get few JLAs sell. Aquaman does not. Flash, yeah, again, you know, and that's probably the best one because it's got Jay Garrick, the Golden Age Flash on it. So that's probably the one that I know for sure will sell fairly soon. But a lot of these, and I'm a huge Legion. I'm not kidding you guys, I've had at least 5 complete runs of the Legion of Superhero books, and nobody wants them. I've still got probably 4 long boxes. I would say each long box, probably, if it's not a complete set, is really super close. Great read, I just don't know what to do with them. Nobody wants them. That's kind of a classic cover, throwback. There's an adventure. It's kind of a cool cover, but it's got Spectre. I can move the adventure stuff. That one's not too bad because it's got the Golden Age heroes on it. Again, 200th milestone issue for Flash. I'm going to take him out though before anybody gets too excited. Oh, and here's something. I'll show you here in a minute. Carmen Infantino, but a lot of toning on it. Pages aren't too bad, but you can tell on the inside. So I don't know, you know, this is probably in that VG range at best. Something I didn't run across it all the time, and I don't know if somebody looked through them and put them in this way, and I'm going to switch this. So I found a lot of the, well, not a lot, probably 50 though, books where you pick it up and the opening on the sleeve is on the bottom like that. Don't do that, because if somebody doesn't know it, you lift that up and then the books slide right out, which obviously does not help the condition of the book. So just something that I kind of noticed. Surprised me. I found that out the hard way, but it fell in my lap and not the floor. I can't remember what book it was. Oh, that's a Nick Cardy cover. I talked about him on some of his New Titans, his mod covers. I didn't realize he had, I don't know if he has very many of those, but great artist, very underappreciated artist on Nick Cardy. A lot of Infantino art on the Flash. I'm just thumbing through. These were nice books. I would not be handling them this way, but unfortunately they're just not. There's a little older JLA, 87. I don't know. Again, they kind of sell a little. That's Carmen Infantino and Murphy Anderson cover. Oh, and there's another one, I think. Yeah. See, that one almost slid out on me. See, because it was upside down. Ross Andrew on that one. Lois Lane, unless it's got a good cover. That's a good cover. I'm betting that's a Nick Cardy cover too. Don't sell. There's just not a lot of value. I always like that cover. So Brave and the Bold, which I guess technically is a Batman title, but most people, Brave and the Bold and World's Finest, they just don't get too excited about collecting them. I do like Adam Strange. It'd been better if it was his own title. And there's another one. See how that's gonna fall out. There are Adam Strange collectors, so that'll probably be okay. But a lot of these are gonna be just not very sought after. I gotta be careful because almost all those are upside down. Do have, just on occasion, a few folks go after the Adventure Supergirl covers. Not a lot, but every now and then somebody wants one. More Flash stuff, more upside down. That's Gil Kane there. More upside down bags. It's coming out anyway, so might as well get it out of there. I got just here. I'm going to put this here. That's a cool cover. How many did I get? Not many. I think that's it. I think I got two Wonder Womans, 195 and 193. Which actually I think were all Diana Prince issues, so I don't think she was even in costume for most, if any, of that. Marvel Triple Action, not a great seller. And then we're back to the action stuff. That's cool with the Green Lantern. Oh, here we go. These are all 2 to a package on this. Junkman. Now there's a villain to terrify Superman. Amazing Adventures. I love the run. I love the story. It's got Killraven in it. Not worth anything. That's probably a reprint. Most of those triple-digit Sergeant Furies are all reprints from earlier 1960s issues. Don't know if they actually sold that well or not. but there wasn't much for new stories. I'll take that one off again before they fall out. Okay, so what are we going into now? I think the rest of these are probably gonna be action here. Let's see. It's hard to do it this way and show you guys, so I apologize. I'm probably whiffed on some of these. Good cover there. I like that one. Oh, come on. You can see it's back to two to a side again. And one more batch, and this is going to wrap it up for part 2. There's going to be at least one more part. I don't know, might be 2 more parts, but I think just one. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. This has been a little longer video, but I got to be honest, doing a whole video of Action Superman Bronze Age comics probably was not going to do all that well, so I just combined it in here with the rest of the guest miscellany. Now there's that could be a reprint at 79, but at least it's a it's a little older book. And this is about as far back as I got. I got 12 centers, but I didn't get any. I think that's Neil. Didn't get any 10 centers that I'm aware of, and maybe I missed one as I was going through it. Oh, that's a really low grade book. Boy, that one's rough too. These are really getting rough back here. But it's still fun. Somebody will read them. I maybe just put those 4 or 5 issues at a time at shows or eBay or something like that. I'll bundle them up. I think that's a Nick Cardy cover too. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, so that's it for part 2. Look for part 3. Might not be right away because I got to get ready for that show in Spirit Lake. So if you guys are going to be in Northwest Iowa, July 1, 2, 3, that's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, stop by the Sheep Barn on the west end of the Dickinson County Fairground. I'll be in there with my friends Chad and Corey from Minnesota. We do not have it on the 4th, so there's no show on the 4th because the 4th is a Tuesday. So I'm guessing the next couple of years it's just going to be the weekend. So anyway, that's it for now. Check out our other videos and our podcast, and thanks for watching.